Hi, this is Fred. We want to give you an overview of the latest developments on the BigBlueButton HTML5 client. To demonstrate its capabilities, I've opened up two web browsers, both of them at the server test.bigbluebutton.org. We invite you to go check it out afterwards. You'll probably see some more features than I show in this video because it's under very active development. Our goal for the BigBlueButton HTML5 client is to provide the same capabilities as the viewer has in the Flash client. And that way the target is that a student participating on a mobile device, an Android device, could use the HTML5 client to participate, join into a class. So let's walk you through it. I'm going to log in here as a teacher with the web client, which is Flash. And I'm going to log in as a student with the HTML5 client. Okay, so you'll see they're both asking for me to join with my microphone. See here on the Flash client, I'll choose microphone, test.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Over on the HTML5 client, same choice. I'm going to choose microphone. And here I can see some of the energy. I can play a sound. And let's enter the session. Okay, in a moment, I will enter. There. And you can hear the echoes as I'm both talking. So both of them are using WebRTC.
You are now muted. You are now
I'm going to mute it so you can hear me and not the echo. All right, so first thing you can see is the presentation is front and center. So let's walk through the capabilities that the presenter has in the web client and how it's all visible in the same way on the HTML5 client. We wanted to make sure that the instructor never had to ask the student, can you see what I'm looking at? So let's demonstrate this by uploading some slides. Okay, here's a slide deck. And as I go next in previous, you can see the HTML5 client is in sync. If I move the mouse around, it's all there. I can zoom in, and you can see the same view is available in the HTML5 client and the web client. It's also very high quality too, because we're rendering these slides using scalable vector graphics. In terms of the whiteboard tools, let's try the pen tool. Okay, I can zoom in a bit here. So again, whatever the instructor annotates, the student HTML5 client sees the same. Other tools are all implemented, so I can do triangle and I can do text as well. The HTML5 client rocks. Okay, and if I go back, you can see it, same view. So other things that we have implemented in terms of the presentation area, polling as well. So here's an example of a question that the instructor may ask the students during the class. Who was the first person to run a mile in less than 4 minutes? There are 4 possible answers for this. And the polling options of BigBlueButton actually parse the slides to determine whether you've got, looks like a poll question with 2, 3, or 4, or 5 choices. Here it's figured out that there's 4 choices. I could choose A, B, C, D, but we make it easy for you and just give you a single button. So if I do this, the students, regardless on their Flash HTML5 client, will have the option to respond to the poll. Here I know the answer is Roger Bannister. So I respond, publish, and the students can see the results. So I can use the whiteboard to annotate them, and I can clear the results as well. One more example, is there an HTML5 client under active development for BigBlueButton? Yes. Again, it's figured out it's yes, no, and I'll respond back, and it's yes. Okay, so other ways that I can collaborate with the instructor are through chat. So let's look over the HTML5 client. If I click on the users or the participants, I can see the public chat. I can see there's 2 people currently in the session. Both of us have their microphones muted. Obviously, if I unmute,
you are now unmuted. You are now
myself,
muted.
It changes state. And let's do a public chat. Okay, looking forward to the class. And I can see it from the student. And I'm going to just say, great, starting soon. It's worth pointing out that both these clients are connected to the same BigBlueButton session on the same BigBlueButton server. Over the past while, we've been unifying all the underlying messages. The BigBlueButton server doesn't care if the message came from a student on one client or the other. So they all get unified underneath the hood. That makes it possible for students to choose whichever client makes sense to participate in the session. Other ways that students can participate, they can certainly change their status, so they can raise hand, and you can see here that the raise hand appears just like anybody else. And of course, as the instructor, I have the ability to clear all the statuses as well. Okay, other capabilities that are enabled in the HTML5 client. If you go under settings, we have the ability to get some notifications when there's a chat message. I'll turn that on. You'll hear it a little bit later. And I can localize the product as well. So I could choose, say, the German. So if I save that, the interface is in German. And let's go back. And I'm going to turn it back to English. Okay, so localization is supported, and you can use transifex if you want to contribute language strings to the client. So let's save it, and I'm going to go back, and we also support closed captions as well. Accessibility is important. So let's say for this class there was a stenographer that was also joined that was going to provide captioning. So here, if I go back over, we have this option of showing the closed captioning because I've logged in here as a moderator. I'm going to choose English, and I'm going to take ownership of it, which means now if I had a stenograph machine and I'm typing, the class will start soon, you'd be able to see it, and then students who are on the HTML5 client have access to the captioning as well. So here I'm going to choose English, and I'm going to save it, and now I'll see the subtitles or the captions right on the side. So the professor is going to start soon. So let's go back. If I can turn off the closed captionings, and then I won't see them anymore. And here I'll go back and I'll just choose the default layout again. Other types of interactions are breakout rooms. So in BigBlueButton, the recent release added breakout rooms, and these are supported in the HTML5 client as well. So let's say I'm going to make a breakout room. I only have 2 people here, but I'm just for demonstration going to put the student inside a breakout room, and I'll start. So here I'm going to say I've been invited to join a breakout room.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
It's going to take me to a new room. I'll join this by microphone as well. And now I'm in a breakout room. I can see at the top I've got about 14.5 minutes left. Here as a moderator I can see the breakout rooms that are active, and I can see that there's one person called student in the room. I can join the audio. Hi. Can you hear me?
You are currently the only person in this conference.
And you heard the echo there because I joined them in the audio. So I can also close the breakout rooms as well. That tab closes, students brought back into the main tab. And I'm going to join the audio here. And now I'll get back. So I'm back in the main class. I never really left it. Another thing that's important in the HTML5 client is support for screen readers. So we put a lot of work to make sure the appropriate area tags are there in the tab order. So let's try this. Let's say I want to tab and open up. I'm only using the keyboard here. I want to open up private chat with the teacher. So let's tab. Tab the teacher, press space, tab, press chat. I'm going to do tab, tab. And now I'm in the chat area. I'm going to say I have a question. And over here, you can see there's a tab with the student. And I can just say, sure. And then that's how the private chat works. And you hear the alert that was in the settings previously. The last thing in the settings will show is you can actually do full screen. And here you can take advantage of the entire screen, which really works well on mobile devices as well. And I'm going to exit full screen. So that's an overview of the HTML5 client. At the time of this video, we're still working on the desktop sharing, making it visible. And once we have that, we pretty much have everything except the 2-way webcams. And that can come in a subsequent release. Our focus to ensure that the remote student can see all the content that is being shared by the instructor and participate fully in the class. That covers a lot of use cases for the use of the HTML5 client. So one last little feature I want to reveal is I said earlier that we're focused on implementing just the viewer capabilities. So it wasn't quite true because we're actually implementing some of the presenter capabilities as well. And I'll show you that. So if I make the student the presenter, here the HTML5 client actually has some of the ability to control the slides. So I can navigate back and forth through them, or I can go to a particular slide. And you can see again, we're going to be building upon this. That's an overview of the HTML5 client.
You are currently the only person in this
that is underway at BigBlueButton. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to getting your feedback on the HTML5 client for BigBlueButton.